right, I'm going to be going live here shortly, about 8 o'clock. Well, let me get signed in here to TalkShoe. All right, hopefully this is going to fly tonight. I hope so. We'll see what happens. All right. Let me get this all set up. Do. All right. Let me call in, get set up.
Please enter your conference ID followed by...
Enter your PIN followed by the pound key. If you are not a TalkShoe member, press 1. You are now joining the call. You are unmuted.
All right. Hello, Lisa. Lisa Hicks. Thanks for the thumbs up. Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Okay. Be going live here in about, well, we're live now, but the show started about 8 o'clock, so. Do. Still waiting on Mike to get here. All right. Had a very nice Christmas, Lisa. Thank you. I hope you did too. And let's hope we all have a great new year. All right. Do. Waiting for Tom, waiting for Mike. And we'll get going here shortly. It's the first time that I've streamed live on Facebook, the whole entire show, so let's hope it works. I always like trying out new things. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, Patty, how are you? You have a happy new year, too. Now, Lisa, are you and Patty watching me right now? You can see me and hear me? If you could just comment. Hey, Darlene, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we enjoy doing this, so we'll see how it goes. First time tonight on Facebook like this. Happy New Year. Cool. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, this is kind of neat. Can talk to you guys and probably reach more people. We're still on TalkShoe too, so people can call in on there if they want. Senator Knisa could be calling in on that tonight, so should all be able to hear him, hopefully. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Love technology. Thank you, darling. Yeah, I'm kind of ready to get rid of 2016. It wasn't the greatest year. Yes, it is. It's very effective, Lisa. Can reach a lot of people. If it's used right, it's a wonderful thing. I've said that before. You are correct. Do-do-do-do. All right. Man, do I have the gray hair. Wow. Oh, well, what are you going to do? When I was a painter, I used to blame it on the paint. I'd say, oh, it's paint in my hair. So, can't do that anymore. Yes, Lisa, I agree with you. Oh, we sure did, Darlene. Man, oh man, a lot of good people. Yep. Just a very bad year. But then there was some highlights too. Wasn't all bad, but I don't know. It seems we only remember the bad things for some reason. I guess the biggest story of 2016 was definitely the election. I mean, who would have thunk, right? A lot of people surprised, some not. But we'll get into some of that later. All right. Got about 4 minutes or so. I come on a little bit early so people can find us. Yeah, me too. It's going to be a very interesting 4 years, isn't it? Next 4 years are going to be very interesting. It's already starting out interesting. Okay, let's see here. All right, come on, Mike and Tom, where are you? Hey, Tom, how you doing?
What up?
What up? Well, we're live on Facebook streaming right now. So we'll see how this goes. Mike isn't here yet, so I don't know if he fell asleep or what. You still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
just doing some final prep.
Okay. All right. You could sing the late song. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I should. Okay. Do, 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 do. Darlene knows that song too. Hey, Derek Parton is in there. How you doing, Derek? My son. He also does D&D Sports Chat Live if you like sports. Does a great podcast, so you may want to check that out. I have shared it on my GC Chat page. Good show. Him and Dan Bartley and Chad. Can't remember Chad's last name, but we'll give them all a shout out. Not much, just waiting to go live. And there's Tom. All right, Dapper Tom. Sounds good. Thank you. Awesome. All right, 8 o'clock. I think we're going to start. If Mike gets here, he gets here. So we'll see what happens. If not, I'll just... Mezigan? Okay, Chad Mezigan. All right. If I messed his name up, sorry. All right. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go.
Talk show. Recorded live.
This is State Representative Bob Kozowski, and you are listening to Garden City Community Chat. Now here's your host, Carrie.
Good evening and welcome to Garden City Community Chat. This podcast is dedicated to promoting our community and yours. offering news you can use and much more. And now, Garden City Community Chat. Well, hello and welcome to our last show of 2016. We are actually streaming live on Facebook right now, so if you want to go to facebook.com/GCChat, you'll be able to join us there. I want to give a shout out to Tony from GC Cafe. Happy New Year, Tony. He is in the, I guess, chat room, you could call it. I want to say hi to Lisa Hicks Clayton, Dearborn Heights Councilwoman, Darlene Jablonski from the Garden City School Board. Derek Parton, my son, is in there from D&D Sports Chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, you're listening to GC Community Chat, and this is show number 322 for December 29th, 2016. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. We are coming to you live from the chat studio right here in Garden City, Michigan. We want to welcome our listeners in Wayne, Westland, Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, Inkster, Redford, Livonia, Plymouth, and Canton. Thanks for listening. This is Garden City's only live podcast where we share news you can use and promote our community and yours. I'm your host, Kerry, and also joining me tonight is our favorite weather guy, Dr. Tom Mywinski. Tom, how are you tonight? Happy New Year.
Yeah, almost a new year. Doing well. Thanks for asking.
Won't be
Hopefully
long.
everyone else is doing pretty well, staying warm, but it's not too cold, but it is getting colder.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad at all. So we'll get to that in a minute. Garden City, former Garden City Councilman, longtime resident Mike Jones is supposed to be here, but I don't know where Mike is. He maybe is a little late, but hopefully he'll join us soon. Lynette Childress, hello. How are you? Coming from Port Charlotte, Florida. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. Hope the weather is great down there. Yeah, go Lions for sure. Senator David Kniesek, he's going to be joining us live via telephone in a few minutes, and we'll see what's been going on in Lansing and anything else he wants to share with us. Tom's going to be here shortly also with the latest up-to-date forecast for us. We'll see what it's going to be like for New Year's Eve. I know a lot of people celebrating New Year's Eve are wondering what the weather will be like, and he'll have that for us. So you're going to want to stick around for that. And then, as I said earlier, this is our New Year's show, so we'll be talking about some of the biggest stories of 2016. Tom and hopefully Mike will share their stories as well with us, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully Mike's going to be here, like I said, and do some community announcements later. If not, we'll cover that for you. So please sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us for the next 60 minutes or so. Now, we invite you to be a part of the conversation here tonight. If you have any questions for any of us, including the senator, we'd love to hear from you. And it's very easy. Just give us a call at 1-724-444-7444. And you're going to enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign. Or you can join us in our chat room by going online to TalkShoe.com and search for call ID 82757. That's going to take you right to our main show page where you'll click on a large join in button. A window is going to open, click sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in the chat room, you can type your questions and comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. Like I said, we're streaming live right now on Facebook, and you can go to facebook.com/GCChat, and you can chime in that way as well. If you'd like to text your questions to us, that number is 734-788-9319, and we look forward to hearing from you. You know, community events are not just taking place here in Garden City, but in our surrounding communities as well. If your community has some great events coming up, get that information to us as soon as possible by emailing us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. And when Mike's here, he'll be more than happy to share that with our listeners for you. After all, that's what we're here for, to promote our community and yours. Now, don't forget, all our shows are recorded, so you can catch us later at your convenience, which several of our listeners do by going to our main show page, where you'll find all 322 shows listed in order for you, so please check them out. The audio from tonight's show will be posted on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat about 30 minutes or so after we sign off tonight. So please look for that along with the video that we're doing right now. It'll be there live. And we're also going to have an unedited video of tonight's show on our YouTube channel. I lost my concentration there for a minute. And that's at youtube.com/community chat show. Watch for that. And while you're there, why not subscribe to our channel? That way you'll be notified when we post future shows. Just click the little red subscribe button right below the video. And all our other videos of past shows are there as well. So check them out. And don't forget, we are in iTunes at GC Community Chat. Just search for GC Community Chat. All right, we're going to get Tom in here and find out about our weather for the upcoming holiday weekend, and then we're going to introduce, hopefully Senator Kniesek should be on the phone by then. So let's get Tom in here. Okay, let's get a check on the weather with Doppler Tom, see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend. Tom, what do you have for us? Hello, my friend. How are you? Happy New Year.
Yeah, almost Happy New Year, definitely. And I mean, this week of weather, when you really think about it, for late December, really hasn't been too terrible outside.
No.
I mean, yeah, we dealt with a little bit of some colder air today, but it wasn't really that bad. I mean, on Monday, we had temperatures close to 60 degrees, and we had rain.
Yeah.
And then throughout the week, it started to cool down into the 40s and 30s, and now we're starting to get into the 20s overnight. But before we get into the 20s, we're going to see some on and off snow showers moving through. This lake effect snow is actually what it is. It isn't going to really accumulate too much. It's just going to probably bring a dusting of snow before it winds down during the overnight hours. So the biggest problem is just visibility, in my opinion, because when you're on the roads and that snow band moves through, the biggest problem is seeing where you're going. But it's not going to be a whole lot of snow on the ground, so that's the good news. And as we get into Friday, temperatures are going to be the coldest that they have been all week. We're probably not going to get out of the 20s tomorrow, at least in the feel-like temperatures, because it's going to be a blustery day behind this system moving through pretty quickly. And those winds are not going to be too terribly strong, but they'll be noticeable like they have been this evening, probably close to 20 to 30 miles an hour. So definitely going to be a little bit on the cool side tomorrow. And as like you said, as we get into the weekend, we're starting to get into a new year. And if you have any traveling plans on Saturday into Saturday night, I don't see that there are going to be any problems. On Saturday, it's going to be overall a dry day. A little bit more sunshine than we have been dealing with the last few days. But don't really see any precip, and we're going to, again, stay on the cool side with temperatures in the 30s. But then as we get into Saturday night and into Sunday, as we go into the new year, going to be dry, and those skies are going to start to clear. So overall, it's going to be a great weather if you are celebrating the New Year's, but it's not really going to be that good to be outside because temperatures will be in the 20s. So if you're going to be outdoors, I wouldn't really recommend being out there for too long. And as we get into the first day of the new year, it's going to be overall a great day. A lot of sunshine out there, but temperatures are going to, again, be on the cold side in the 30s. So bundle up as we get into the new year. But before we really get into the cold air, we're going to see another real big influx of some milder air with the next storm system moving in, and that will be on Monday and Tuesday. We're not going to really see a whole lot of precip with this system, but we are going to deal with just rain with this system, and temperatures are going to be on the mild side again in the 40s and into the lower 50s. So before we really start to get into winter, this is going to be a nice little bit of a reprieve with temperatures kind of being on the balmy side in the 40s and 50s with rain on and off on both of those days.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Behind the system on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, temperatures will significantly drop back into the 20s and 30s for daytime highs. So enjoy this last balmy weather before a big change in the weather pattern is going to really start to develop. But luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to be kind of a whole bottom drop out sort of situation. Temperatures will try to moderate as we get into the middle part of January, but temperatures next week are going to kind of be on the weird side. We're going to be in a roller coaster, like I said, 40s and 50s early part of the week, and then it's going to start dropping throughout the mid part of the week into the late part of the week, and then as we get into the following week, we'll be in the 20s and 30s, like I said, for highs, And that's kind of where we're going to stay. I don't really see temperatures getting much colder than that. So it's obviously going to start sticking around. But the one thing I am noticing is there's not really going to be a lot of big snow accumulations with any of these systems. I don't really see any big snowstorms with these systems. A lot of the snow is actually gone now because of those temperatures just throughout the weekend. Where whatever sunshine we get really helps melt it as well. But we barely scratched in a white Christmas because as that Christmas was ongoing, it was pretty balmy, but those conditions kind of just barely made it in, and there was just enough snow to say that we had a white Christmas, and now that's long gone. And I'm pretty sure no one's really missing the snow at this point, but like Michigan, it will be back before we know it. But the good news is that I don't really see any big snow events for our neck of the woods, but there are a lot of snow all across the Great Lakes with these winds. The winds are just perfect for lake effect snow across much of the Great Lakes, and there is also a little bit of a storm in the northeast, bringing a lot of snow as well across the coastal part of the northeast. From Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts, as that quick storm system is going to be bombing out over there, as what they say, and they're going to get a lot of snow. But luckily, no big storms for us in the Great Lakes besides lake effect snow. But we'll get into some other weather as we get later in the show. But that's kind of the latest weather for us. If you want to keep tuned to the local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerSoundsWeather.com.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I don't think too many people are missing the snow, except those that make a living maybe pushing it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it hasn't been a real good year for them. But like Lisa says, we like sunshine. And here is Mike Jones. How you doing, Mike?
Well, I've been better.
You've been better?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Hey, we're live on Facebook. We're streaming live on Facebook right now. So don't do anything abnormal.
You mean like sneeze?
Go Michigan. You got a
little bit later in the show, Kerry, I'll talk about the biggest weather stories and some other bigger stories. So stay tuned for that because there's been a lot going on this year.
Right. We're gonna check back with you, but right now I think we have Senator David Kaniesic on the phone. How you doing, Senator?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing awesome. We are live on Facebook. This is the first time for us. We're streaming live on Facebook right now.
You guys are stepping it up as we head into 2017. I like that.
I love technology. Love it. Mike just joined us. How you doing, Mike? You're a little under the weather, are you?
Oh, other than
Sinus or something?
sneezing about every 2 minutes and constantly blowing my nose and
Oh, boy.
falling asleep.
Well, keep your germs on that side of the desk. All right, Senator. Let's get to it. I know you have another commitment tonight, but we appreciate you joining us. You're on recess now, no?
Yeah, we're in recess until session resumes on January 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the way the legislative process works, I know we've talked about this in the past, is when we hit that end of session, every bill that has not passed into law effectively dies, and you have to start back from scratch.
Oh, boy.
When we go back into session on January. So any bill that didn't get passed no longer exists, and you have to start back and reintroduce everything that you had been working on, and essentially, like I said, start from scratch. We've got a whole batch of new members of the House of Representatives coming in, and so they're going to take a little while to get up to speed on everything. I remember being in that spot myself 4 years ago.
Yeah, and then by the time they do, then it's election time again, right?
Yeah, that's the
you
way
just
it works.
get your
By the
feet
time-
wet.
Yeah, and worse still, by the time you actually know what you're doing,
Right.
they kick you out.
Yeah.
You have to get an entirely new state representative. So it's you know, I know there's very strong opinions on that both ways. I'm obviously not a fan of term limits, but
Right.
you know, that's the way it works. You get
Yeah.
a new batch every 2 years, and some are returning, and some are on their way out the door. So we should see what happens. We've got a good crop of people coming in, though, so I'm excited about it.
So let's talk about what was accomplished and what wasn't accomplished during the lame duck session. You want to talk about some of that, or?
Yeah. I mean, there were some. I mean, personally, some really big successes and things that I'm proud of. And you know, aside from that, though, I really think some of the most important things that took place in lame duck were really the things that we were able to stop, or the things that we were to keep from coming up for a vote in the first place. And so, the couple examples that come to mind, the first was changes that were being proposed to municipal employee pension systems.
Right.
So we're talking about police officers and firefighters, the folks that work for our courts, the folks that are working over there at City Hall.
Were there a few
they were
people
talking
opposed
about.
to that?
Is somebody asking a question? I hear something in the back.
Yeah, were there a few people opposed to that? I thought I saw something on the news with a little demonstration.
A few people is an understatement.
Right.
But it was, it was nice to see folks really mobilize around the issue.
Exactly.
The firefighters came up to Lansing and protest the one day. That was really what caught the headlines. The fact that we were talking about police officers and firefighters. And, I'll give you an example of how it would affect my family. My father's a retired police officer from Dearborn Heights. He did 24 years with the department there. Now, remember, a couple years ago, Governor Snyder enacted that new pension tax. I know you guys are familiar with that. So that hit my dad for, I think he said $300 when that pension tax came into place.
Yeah.
If they were to adopt the health care changes that they were proposing, it would have been another $300 that he was going to lose from his paycheck every month. And so, we acknowledge, and when I say we, I mean Democrats and Republicans, we acknowledge that, we have a very serious unfunded liability problem.
Right.
But if you want to address that in a way that does right by the people, and that's something that I think is getting lost in a lot of these conversations, people are really focusing on the spreadsheets, and they're thinking about, how you can make a spreadsheet balance. Well, that doesn't take into consideration people's lives and the quality of life that they're going to have to live after the fact. So, that's something that you need to address not in the 9 days of lame duck. You need to have everybody come to the table. You need to have a really robust conversation about how to address that. And we were effective in mobilizing municipal employees, police officers, firefighters, Democrats, and Republicans to the point where the legislature took that issue off the table, and they said that they weren't really ready to consider it this year. I do think they're going to take another stab at it in the next 2 years, but I'm hoping that it's going to be with a little bit more of a collaborative approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I just wanted to mention Lisa Hicks Clayton is in the chat room on Facebook, and
Councilwoman. Hello.
Yeah, she wanted to thank you for supporting Logan's Law. You want to just briefly touch on that?
Logan's Law was, in summary, and I could be missing something here. We had about 300 different things fly through there at the end. This is the one designed to keep convicted animal abusers from being able to walk into a shop and adopt any more pets.
Okay.
And so if you have a history of abuse or poor treatment of animals, you're no longer going to be able to adopt. And I think that is something that we were really, really proud of to address in a bipartisan way. And that flew through the Senate and the House and landed on the governor's desk, and he signed that into law as well.
Awesome. Mrs. Chat just joined the chat room, too. Hello there.
Hey.
This is really nice. I like this. This is a good idea. I like this a lot. So, listen, January, we have some new laws going into effect, no?
Oh, yeah.
The gas tax, vehicle fees are going up.
Yeah,
nasty business, that gas tax.
Yeah.
This is something. Now, folks in Garden City, we sent out a couple thousand of these to folks in Garden City. You know how it is. You can't send it out to everybody, so you try to send out as many as you can. But we send out these little packets of information from my office, manila folder. Hopefully you guys got it.
Yep, we did. Yeah, very nice.
Oh, good. And I talk about what I call the road funding farce. And, you start with the issue of the money that we need to raise for road funding is not being raised under this new plan that is going to be pushed onto the backs of Michigan taxpayers. And consider the fact that when you go to the pump, the gas tax is going up just over 6%. You're going to have the increased registration fees when you go to renew your plates and what have you at the Secretary of State. And so, I mean, this was all to come up with money
Yep.
to help fund this $1.2 billion road funding plan. The problem is the governor just commissioned a report that came out saying that Michigan, if we want to fix our roads, if we want to fix our infrastructure,
Yeah.
we need to be spending north of $4 billion per year. So, number one, the plan doesn't even cover the bare minimum of what we need to do.
Oh, my
and number
God.
two, they didn't ask themselves, who is going to shoulder the burden of these increased taxes? Well,
Yeah.
it's going to land on people like
Yes.
you and me. It's
Yeah.
going to land on the middle class.
Yep.
Every time we go to the pump, every time we go to the Secretary of State,
Mm-hmm.
we're having to shell out more and more and more. And the thing I keep reminding people is, I thought this was the party of lower taxes. I thought this was the party of
Yeah.
Right.
less government.
Yeah, yeah.
And every turn, Kerry, every turn, we're asking folks at the middle of our economy or at the bottom to shoulder an even greater burden to try and make up for the mistakes of our government. And
Yeah.
so, for me, it really gets me hot. And
Yeah. Good. You're not alone.
we
Stay
keep kind
hot.
of push back on this. Like I said, it's just really hypocritical to me when you see folks who campaign on this motto of less taxes and lower government, and their first solution to everything
Yep.
is how can I push this back onto the middle class and working families.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we're definitely thrilled that you're in there
Keep up the
fighting
good fight.
for us. Yeah, for sure.
I like a good scrap, you know that.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Well, you're gonna have several of them in the next 2 years.
Yeah, you are.
Well, believe me, we know. There are some good bills that are going to be going into effect next year.
Okay.
I know I had talked to you guys in years past. I believe that we really need to expand the number of veterans' homes that we have here in the state of Michigan.
Right. Right.
And just to remind those folks listening at home, we have over 600,000 veterans here in Michigan, and we only have 2 veterans' homes to service them, one in Grand Rapids, one in Marquette. Now, that's great,
Yeah.
but most of those 600,000 veterans live here in southeastern Michigan. They don't have access to the places out in Grand Rapids and Marquette. So I've been pushing for a number of years that we need to expand the number of veterans' homes. Over the summer, I was appointed to a work group who was charged with the task of assessing the landscape for veterans' homes in Michigan. What can we do? What could we be doing? The whole 9 yards. And we put out a report, and we put out some legislation right at the end of the year. We knew that the timeline was short, but we knew it was the right thing to do. Worked in a bipartisan way. Those bills passed the House. They passed the Senate. The governor signed them into law. And so this is what we're going to get now over the next, we're hoping 5 to 6 years. 5 brand new veterans homes
Wow.
here in the state of Michigan.
Oh wow.
That's fantastic.
That
5
is
brand new.
That's awesome.
So very, very awesome. And so, we're going to be redoing the 2 existing homes that we have in Grand Rapids and Marquette. So they're going to be completely redesigned. We're going to be able to tap into additional federal money that we were not before. So the resources that we have to improve the quality of care and the quality of life for the veterans in Grand Rapids and Marquette is going to increase. So we're really happy about that.
Great.
And then the 5 new veterans homes, I mean, we're talking hundreds of jobs that we're going to create here in the state of Michigan.
Sure.
We're going to be placing 2 in southeastern Michigan. I'm pushing for 1 down here in the Metro Detroit area. We're looking for anywhere from 25 to 40 acres of property to put that. So
Wow.
I already put the feelers out to Garden City and Redford and Dearborn Heights and Inkster and Detroit to see who might have that space available. But we're talking 2 in southeastern Michigan. We're talking about 1 along the I-94 corridor, so the Jackson sort of Battle Creek area. 1 in the Flint, Saginaw, Bay City area. And then the last one is going to be in northern lower Michigan. So
Okay.
5 new homes for the veterans. The first 2 homes, we just put out a proposed dollar value to build the first 2 homes. It's a $110 million investment that we're going to be making for the veterans into these homes. So you're looking at $55 million per home.
Wow.
And the best part about that
Yeah.
is, 1, taxpayers don't have to pay a dime extra in taxes.
I was
for it.
just going to ask you, how is that going to be funded then?
Well, because we're going
So,
to qualify
right.
for some
What
federal
we,
money.
What we did
Right.
is very similar to what we did for the Mackinac Bridge Authority, and that's create this Veterans Affairs Authority to allow them to go out and to bond for
Okay.
the resources and the capital that we need to put into these structures, and then the state can just pay off
Wow, very cool.
that balance with the money that we'll be receiving from the federal government to operate the homes. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you and me, we're not going to be asked to shoulder any additional burden
Oh,
to
that's
take care of our veterans.
fantastic.
Believe me, I know we would if we were asked, but
Yeah, oh, I bet.
you know, we're not going to have to.
Yeah.
And the other great thing is that when you do a state-run veterans home, the day you turn the key on that facility, the federal government reimbursed you 65% of the construction costs.
Ah,
So,
nice.
you know, we're talking, we'll use round numbers. We're talking about $100 million-ish for these first two homes. The day we turn the key and open them up, it's going to be $65 million back into the state of Michigan's pocket. So we're only going to be paying about $35 million to construct the first two.
Sweet. Sweet.
Which is really pennies on the dollar, right?
Mhm.
So we're
It
really
is.
excited about that. And, you know, that gets to the point I made earlier. That's something that, as you'll remember, that I've been pushing for the last 4 years. And
Yeah.
it finally was able to come to fruition.
Right.
If we didn't have that long to work on it, I mean, it wouldn't have happened. So
Yeah, you've been a big,
being
big
able
fighter
to-
on that. I know that.
yeah, being able to work in the House and in the Senate on it has been really, really exciting. And so now I'm looking forward to breaking ground on the construction of the first one here in southeastern Michigan. I think it's a really exciting thing.
How soon do you think that might happen? Did you say?
So we have an April deadline to submit our plans to the federal government. You know, they have a lot of sort of checks in the box that we need to hit. If we get all of our ducks in a row, we could be opening the doors by late 2018, early 2019
Wow.
on that first home. So,
That's awesome.
you know, you're looking at a 1 to 2 year timeline.
Not bad at all.
Just because of the paperwork you need to go through. But as far as the state's end of things and the things that we need to do to lay the groundwork to make this happen, we're 100% in the clear. So now we're just trying to get the federal side lined up and ready to go.
I just wanted to mention Darlene Jablonowski. I'm sorry.
Jablonski.
Yeah, she's in there, and she said, thank you, David, from the school board.
Hey, oh, we love Darlene. I'm going to be swearing in the school board in early January. So
Really?
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Got
Cool.
a call from the administrative offices over in Garden City the other day, and they asked if I would attend the inauguration and swear in the new school board members.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah, we're very excited to have Darlene and Lynette and Sarah back on the school board. I think
Yeah,
they've done
they're
a
good
great
people.
job.
Yep. Lynette
they're gonna
was
keep doing a
listening
great
too.
job.
Yeah, Lynette was listening too from Florida. She's actually in Florida right now, so
Oh my!
she said give her a shout out. Lisa says, I know a perfect location for one of the Southeast Michigan veterans' homes. We should talk. Great for local economy,
yeah?
great for the veterans.
There you go. Yeah, Lisa's a great advocate too. It's great when you have folks like yourself and Mike and Lisa, folks at the local level who are pushing the same issues
Yes.
that we're trying to push at the state level.
Yep.
I mean, it really helps us sort of double that effort.
Well, anything we can do,
and
you
put
know,
the additional
we're
pressure
there.
on folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we do, in Garden City, we don't have a plot of land the size that they need.
Yeah,
But-
that's the problem.
But
yeah.
that's fine if it goes into Dearborn Heights or Redford or someplace
Yeah.
nearby,
Oh, we're
more
happy.
power to us.
Right, right.
Well, the thing that I'm excited about too, you know, and Mike, I share in your frustrations there. We had reached out and worked with
Sure.
the mayor and the city manager. I think
Yep.
Garden City's largest available plot that we had that could do that, I think, was about 8 to 10 acres, and so it was too small. But like you said, if we're close,
Yeah.
you and I both know Garden City is full of some of the most patriotic, the most
Oh.
civic organized
Yeah.
and oriented folks that you've ever met. And so they're going to have a great opportunity to go
Absolutely.
out and volunteer
Mm-hmm.
at this home just as much as the next guy. So I'm excited about that too, because I know that as long as we get it down here in southeastern Michigan, Garden City is going to have a chance to leave its mark on things.
And you know what? Not to mention apply for some of the jobs that are going to be available too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, nice and
Absolutely.
close, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Mike, you got any questions?
For David?
Yeah.
No, he's He's on a roll. Let's just let him continue telling us about all the bad things that didn't happen and the good things that did.
Yeah, I don't know if I want. Well, go ahead, Dave.
Another good thing that we got done. Again, not a perfect bill. You know, the ones that pass bipartisan are never perfect. But you know, I say that if everybody feels a little bit of pain, it's probably a good bill, right? Because everybody's giving up a little something and coming to the table.
Right.
The very last bill that we passed into law right before we adjourned for the year was a brand new rewrite of our state's energy program.
Okay.
So we were able to, you know, myself, and you remember Representative Plawecki.
I was just
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say,
I was just gonna say that.
Julie worked on that.
Yep.
We were fighting the good fight for increased renewable energy efficiency and net metering, so the solar piece that we have here in the state of Michigan.
Right.
I'll tell you, I wasn't 100% crazy about the solar language that was adopted in the end. It's not perfect, but it still allows for solar
And it's a
to
start.
continue
Yeah.
and grow here in the state of Michigan, so I'm happy about that. Really strong energy efficiency language so that, you know, corporations and small businesses, the like, are able to increase the energy efficiency of their homes and to do so in a responsible way.
Right.
The big win really for us who are fighting for, you know, some of the more environmental pieces of it, we were able to get a 50% increase in the renewable energies that we're going to be creating here in the state of Michigan.
Fantastic.
So,
Nice.
you know, we used to have a 10% floor that we couldn't go underneath, or pardon me, we used to have 10% as our goal for the state of Michigan to do 10% renewable energy for our energy producers. We're going to increase that by 50%, so we're going up to 15% renewables here by 2019.
Good.
And so, you know, that's just going to keep the solar, the wind, you know, all these other clean forms of energy alive and well here in the state of Michigan. So that energy bill, I'll tell you, that was 2 years in the works. It came down to the wire. There was times in the last week where we thought it was dead. We thought it was alive. We thought it was close. We thought it was dead again. And in the dead of night, right before we adjourned, we were able to come together on an agreement and pass that new energy rewrite. That was the first one in the last 8 years. So that's good. And it also gives reliability for the production of energy here in the state so that we don't run the risk of having a situation where we're in need of more energy than we have the capacity to create or to build. So a really good win all around for everybody, in my opinion.
Awesome. Did you have something?
No, it's nice because I know I heard somebody on the national scene commenting about the new director suggestion for Environmental Protection Agency and saying that our Republicans saying they think he'll be a great EPA director because he'll help protect us from the environment. I thought,
Well, isn't he the same one that asked to get rid of the EPA?
Oh, yeah.
I believe so.
He doesn't believe in global warming and
Exactly.
Yeah, so at least,
Let me tell you, this
at
is
least
the way of the
Michigan
future.
is doing something positive, which we're going to need all the help we can get.
We are. We're going to need it. So let me ask you, Senator. I'm going to put you on the spot here now. Let us know your feelings for the next 4 years. What do you anticipate? I mean, it's going to be an interesting 4 years, isn't it?
You know,
And it's already starting out, and it's not even 2017 yet.
You know, I'll say this. Folks have said to me in person and on social media, you know what, give them a chance. Give them a chance. Stop criticizing. Give them a
I've
chance.
heard that.
Number one,
I hope he's
those
successful.
same people never gave our current president a chance, number one.
No.
Yeah.
And number two, I'll say this. In the past, when George W. Bush was president, or even now under Rick Snyder, you know, as governor, I disagree with him. I'll fight him tooth and nail.
Sure.
But I don't fear for the future of our state in terms of existing as a state or in terms of the United States existing as a country. I am really, really worried about what could happen over the next 4 years if some of the things that President-elect Trump is talking about actually come to fruition. I think there's going to be a ton of buyer's remorse from folks when they realize that, well, hey, that health care that I'm dependent on, he's now going to get rid of.
Yeah.
or I really
20
enjoy
million.
this Social Security or this Medicare or this Medicaid, and he wants to cut it and get rid of it. I think there's going to be a lot of buyer's remorse from folks who say, well, I thought he was going to make America great again, but maybe they didn't look into the details of what was behind that plan.
Yeah.
And if and when it comes to fruition, it's going to put this place in a world of hurt. You know, look at his choice for education secretary, Betsy DeVos.
I know.
I mean, this is a woman who advocates for the systematic destruction of public education.
Yeah.
You know, and public education is the backbone of any civilized society. I mean, if she's going to be the head of the Department of Education and her sole goal is to dismantle education, this really worries me for the kids who are going to be in our K-12 system over the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And what I've been sort of encouraged by, and you know, folks in North Carolina talk about this. You know, they say it's going to get worse before it gets better. But what you're going to see is a rallying of grassroots activists and volunteers, a rallying of folks in opposition to these really backwards and draconian policies, a rallying the likes of which we have never seen in this country. And so folks really become organized and try to take back their government from the hands of somebody who's just really looking to dismantle things. So if there's any silver lining, I would hope that it be that people realize that, I mean, your vote really has significant consequences, some good and some bad. And I'm worried that the next 4 years, most of it's going to be bad, so that when we get the chance to go back to the polls in 2020, we change direction and we try and go in a new way.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully that rallying will be mostly peaceful and not rioting and stuff like that.
That's important. That's really important, Mike. And I tell people all the time, the second, I love peaceful protest, 100%. I believe in the citizens' rights to protest their government, to disagree with our decision, to do the whole full exercise of their civil rights. But as Mike said, the second a protest becomes violent, the message is lost, and the effectiveness is lost. And so, you know, I have said that from day one. Protest is great. Peaceful protest is the only way to conduct yourself. So I'm hoping that folks live by that motto, and over the next few years, continue to hold their government accountable in a peaceful way. And then again, in 2020, take that passion, take that frustration, take that peaceful protest to the voting booth. And vote for change.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, and you know, I think he needs to stay off Twitter too. I don't know, but I think he does. You know, he's already taken credit too for, you know, the low unemployment and everything that just came out. He's taken credit for that already. So,
I mean, that's really a phenomenal exercise in his vanity, where, you know, he's not even in office, and you know, the economy is better now than it was 8 years ago when President Obama came into office. I mean, the Dow Jones alone has doubled. You know, in the last 8 years since he came into office. And you know, he's taking credit for things that he was never in office during, and never had a role in achieving. So, I mean, you know, I'm not surprised by it. It is who he is, and I think we can expect more of the same in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
Well, we got him for 4 years, so we'll see what happens.
So I'm like David. I hope he's successful and the country's successful, but I have some real concerns about.
And you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I want everybody to be better off 4 years from now than they are today. I don't think anybody wants someone to not be successful if they hold the office of the presidency. But like you said, I've got some really, really serious concerns. So we're going to be working to hold the man accountable.
All right. Well, let's hope so. All right. One other thing, coffee hours, they're going to resume shortly, yes?
Coffee hours resume in January. I'm a speaker, and I'm going to look at my calendar because I don't want to give folks the wrong date or time.
All right.
So, the first one's early.
January 9th, we're going to resume. January 9th.
January 9th.
We're going to be 10:30 a.m. at the Maplewood Seniors. So we're going to be sticking to the same schedule we have the last 2 years.
And I believe Jewel will be there too, right?
Our new state representative for Garden City, Jewel Jones, should be there. I'll be there, and of course, Commissioner Glenn Anderson. So
Right.
we always have a great turnout in Garden City. Folks always come out prepared and ready to ask us questions and
Yeah.
see the direction things are going in. So we look forward to seeing the crowd out on January 9th.
Awesome. Yeah, I got contact information for Jewel, so I'm going to try and get him on the show too and get him acclimated to GC Community Chat.
You always get out and get your hands on it. That's the good thing about the show.
Yep, got to. All right, any parting words before we let you go for the people, for the new year
Just want
coming?
to, again, really thank everybody for the opportunity to continue serving Garden City. We're coming up on the end of 4 years now. I can't believe it's flown by.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
just really wish everybody health and happiness as we head into the new year.
All right. Sounds good.
Same to you.
Yep.
Good
You
friend.
take care and be safe out there. I know you got another commitment tonight. Let's see, what's this? Guest 3 says last meeting, a Democratic delegate selection. I don't know. Whatever that means.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Withholding senior
find out, shoot me a
non-taxable
text.
distribution money. Okay. All right, we'll let you go, sir. You take care, and thanks for joining us again. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year to you. We'll see you soon.
All right, we'll be in touch.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Senator David Knisik. Always a pleasure to have him on with us, right?
Absolutely. He's one of the good ones.
One of the good ones out
One
there
one of the best.
fighting for us, for sure. All right, let's see. Okay, we're going to get Tom back in here. Tom, you there?
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the, let's do a review here, a 2016 year in review. We'll start with you with the weather. What was the big weather story of the year, would you say? Probably a couple of them,
Well,
right?
I like to go to locally and then expand outward. What do you think, before I tell you locally, what did you experience this year, if you can remember, that you haven't really experienced the last few years?
Mhm.
Have you really thought about anything that has been a little different?
I thought
Because-
the winters, the last couple of years, were much milder than normal in terms of very frigid cold and snowfall.
Right. I would say that, yeah, milder winters.
Yeah, well, this year was one of the warmest winters in a long time. I mean, January and February, we had little to no snow on the ground, and we had temperatures well above average in the 40s, 50s, and I even see temperatures near 60 degrees during those months, which is something that you don't really think about here in Michigan when you're in the middle of winter. So, yes, winter was pretty mild this year, and then as we got into March and April, temperatures slowly just started to increase, and we were in such a warming trend. And this summer was was a pretty hot summer.
Yes, it
here.
was.
We were breaking records left and right with temperatures in the 80s and 90s for a few weeks on top of, and a lot of humidity as well. And all that heat and humidity led to a small-scale drought across our region, which was one of the biggest stories of the year for us. We didn't really see any big restrictions or anything significantly affecting our way of life like other regions, but it was a drought that was noticeably to talk about. And November, as we got into the fall, we did see a little bit more rain than we did during the summer months, which eliminated that drought. So that was the good news. And then November was another warm month. I mean, temperatures were well above average in November, which is very unusual. I remember seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s for a few days, which is something that you don't really see this time of year. And then as we get into December, we did see a pretty significant snowstorm in the early part of the month, and that snow is long gone. But overall, for us, there was no significant weather here in Michigan per se. But if we expand outward and talk about some of the bigger weather stories of the season, there was a lot of them, and a lot of them were bad. This was the year of the lessers of two evils. There was a lot of flooding this year across the country. I mean, this year has seen a lot of flooding across the South. I mean, I've seen record-breaking flooding all across the South. From Texas, they've seen a lot of flooding. From the Carolinas, they saw a lot of flooding. West Virginia saw one of the deadliest flooding events in a very, very long time. I mean, I remember that story.
Everywhere
And,
but where they needed
the
it.
other side of it was also the drought, which was something that was really beginning to really develop in the Southeast. And recently, we had that wildfire across Gatlinburg, which was one of the bigger stories of the year,
Yeah,
and across
terrible.
California as well, which is something that is still ongoing.
Mhm.
And but yeah, the drought and the floods were a very big story across the region. And the hurricane season was actually a very interesting turn of events as well into the season. We had Hurricane Hermine, which was one of the first hurricanes in over a decade to make landfall in Florida,
Wow.
which is something you do not think about. I mean, Florida is just a stick out into the ocean, and they avoided a hurricane landfall in over a decade, and that storm actually eliminated that. And the other hurricane that had a big impact was Hurricane Michael, which led to the flooding in South Carolina and North Carolina, and also sunk a pretty big ship across the Bahamas region, which killed the whole crew, which was something that was pretty unprecedented. And the biggest weather story in the United States, in my opinion, is in the world, in my opinion, this was Earth's third straight record warm year on record. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up.
Wow.
You cannot make this stuff up. Each year,
That's a
over the
fact.
last 3 years, has been getting warmer and warmer and warmer, and this is the warmest year
Global warming.
now on the record. I've been talking about this for the last 3 years. It's
Yeah.
been the warmest year on record. Now this one is 3 years.
Jeez.
It's the warmest year on record. So you cannot ignore that the planet is warming up. And
Yeah, those are
the stats
scientific
don't lie.
facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the biggest story, in my opinion, of the entire year. But flooding was a big story, and drought was a big story as well.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, how about well, we know the election and politics. Okay, we knew that was big. I mean, that was probably the biggest story, right? One of them, anyway. Let's talk about what about Brexit? Britain voting to leave the European Union. That was pretty big.
Yeah, we were over there on vacation just before that vote was taken.
Oh, that's right. That's
It was-
right.
It was a surprise to a lot of people. They did not expect the vote to go that way.
Yeah.
And then
And it,
those same people were surprised in November with the vote here, a lot of them.
right, right. Staying nationally, so many entertainers and people that have passed away.
Yeah, we just
Wow.
got a double
Double whammy.
from Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, I mean that was a true shocker right there.
Yeah. It's like my daughter just died prematurely, and
Yeah, yeah. She wanted to be
there's-
with her. She
there's
said,
that's my reason for continuing to living.
"Yeah." How about sports? We had the Olympics this year in Brazil. That was pretty successful, I guess.
Yeah.
United States did
The
good.
Cubs finally won the World Series. Which
Cubs,
Wow, yeah.
Story
Cubs
as well.
finally won. Yep.
We
yep.
didn't have much of a way of sports successes locally.
No, no.
I mean, the U.S. did great in the Olympics generally. That was fantastic. The Cubs was a huge story.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah.
But
We're hoping for the Lions to win Sunday
we are. But
instead of backing into it.
I'm predicting. I'm in the Wakely football pool that I'm in.
Yeah, what are you predicting?
The Lions to lose, Washington to win, and the Lions to be out of the
Back down.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Out of-
First.
out of the playoffs.
Oh, Washington to win. Oh, the Giants. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Well, let's hope you're wrong,
I hope so.
but you never know. I know
I
that
got-
Dallas game was disappointing as hell.
I predicted the Lions correctly last week. I said,
Yeah.
I think they'll lose. I didn't think it would be that lopsided, but
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay, we covered the weather. How about
Michigan football
Michigan?
was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, now Friday they're playing Florida.
Yep.
So
Florida State.
in their bowl game, they're not playing on New Year's, which is disappointing. But hey, they're in a bowl game.
Yep.
How about locally, right around Garden City? We had some very successful events.
Yeah.
The Garden City Taste Fest in May, a new one, the Scavenger Hunt in July. That lasted from July 8th to the 22nd. That was very good. Music in the Park in July. That was awesome.
My biggest event that I put on my list for Garden City was Trunk or Treat.
Yeah, I
It was-
got that covered.
I mean, it wasn't new,
Phenomenal.
but it was the second year we've had it. It was again,
Bigger than the previous.
Yeah, I mean, the first one just blew our mind about how successful it was, and this one just wiped that one right out in
Yeah.
terms of
And not
the
to
number of
mention,
people involved and so forth.
and not to mention all the food that we got for the home pantry. 1,200 pounds of food.
Yeah,
We didn't do it the first one. We didn't even think about that, and we're so happy we did it for this year.
yeah.
And they did real well. Also, the Afterburn and Chili Cook-Off, October 8th, very huge.
Yeah.
Very big events.
It's-
And then,
It's good to see that the Garden City Business Alliance and the DDA involved in
Working
a
together.
a number of big events in terms of bringing out local residents
Yeah.
in large numbers, having a good time.
yeah, Darlene says, yeah, the trunk or treat was just amazing. Yeah, it sure was. I'll tell you, it boggled the mind when you
Yeah.
saw how many people actually stood in line. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And plus all the trunks and all the businesses that participated. We had 60 trunks. I mean, it was great. Just a great community event. Everybody come together. It was awesome.
I'm predicting you're going to have another new event this next year,
Uh-oh,
which
what?
is going to be very big.
What's that?
It's the Great Pig Race.
Oh,
night
yeah.
before-
Yeah.
night
Give them a
before-
little tease on that.
Yeah,
Tell
the-
people a little bit about that.
Yeah, the night before the Great Bacon Run,
Mm-hmm.
in a tent in the area there for where
Farmers
Market area,
Mm-hmm.
same place that's going to be finalized. We're going to have the Great Pig Race, where businesses and individuals can sponsor a pig. Now the pigs are plywood. They've been
They can be
cut out-
decorated.
They've been
any
cut
way
out
they
and
want.
painted. The business can decorate it any way they want to highlight their particular business, and we will have races in which these pigs compete. There'll be 6 pigs to a race. So if we had 6 sponsors only, then that'd be one race. But we're looking to get 20, 30 sponsors.
Yeah,
30 would be our upper limit.
right.
We've already had a commitment. We've had several commitments. We got the first sponsorship paid by Fleming Financial Agency.
Okay, John, yeah.
Yeah. And at the Kiwanis meeting today, the mayor said he would buy a pig.
Okay,
So
okay. There you
there's
go.
another commitment.
Yep.
We have probably about 8 or 9 pretty hard commitments already. We just haven't. Nobody's been really billed for it, but there's going to be many events associated with this. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be we'll be providing hors d'oeuvre type things.
Prizes for the winners.
Yeah, there's going to be.
What, first, second, third you give or no?
Now, actually, they're going to
How's it work?
They're going to get plaques.
Okay, participating.
Yeah, that'll show that. And
Awesome.
People will be able to bet on the individual pigs and so forth in the race. And
Yeah, it's going to be a great fundraiser
and
too.
between each lap of 6 that race, there'll be events going on that'll be fundraising type events.
Cool.
There's going to be from each group of 6. There's going to be a winner and a loser, the one that goes the least distance, and the one that goes the most or finishes first. And we'll then wrap it up with a losers bracket where the losers from each group will compete, and then finally a winners bracket where the winners from each group will compete.
All right, awesome.
So you could have, if you have 6 pigs per race, 5, 6, 7 heats.
7 heats.
Counting
wow.
the 2. That
could be a long day.
Should start about 7:30 and be done no later than 10:30.
Okay,
And
okay.
there's going to be just so many activities going on. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, stay tuned to be continued. We don't want to give away too much, but more information will be coming on that.
Yeah, there's some ideas that we're
Kicking around.
that we're looking at, and I'm sure there'll be some innovations that'll be local. I mean, it's already got
Right.
the local element that it's a pig race instead of a camel race like they do in some communities, or an elk race like the elks run in some communities, or a moose race like the moose run in some communities.
Yeah, right,
Garden
right.
City, of course, has to have pigs. I mean,
There you go.
that's our symbol.
Right.
Love it or leave it.
So we're going to look forward to that. Cheryl says, love it, pig races, only in Garden City. Love.
Yeah, tell Mrs. Chad and Mr. Chad himself, keep that March 18th date open, because we're going up to West Branch and watch this camel race.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so-
got to keep that date open.
Yeah, it's going to be like
right. We're looking forward to that.
so that'll be big. But my biggest event, and there were a lot of them in Garden City, was Trunk or Treat.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
biggest thought nationally had to be the presidential election.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
the other biggest event that I had that had local impact was the very unexpected passing of Representative Blawicki.
Yeah,
That was a
heartbreaker, boy.
Yeah, that was
Very
just a
emotional.
shocker. Yeah,
It
it
was.
was tough.
Very, very, very bad. And then rounding out our events, don't forget the Sandland Parade. That was very, very big.
Yeah.
A good turnout, great weather, and then the Holiday Business Expo at the Moose. So, and then the Christmas tree lighting to round it out in December. Very, very good.
Even though it was a day later because of the
Yeah.
weather.
Right. But we couldn't stop that. So, and then I wanted to comment on the Great Lakes Garden City Arts Center that's going to be coming. We're looking forward to that. Still looking forward to that with Don Wakefield. That's going to be a destination, I believe.
I think so too, and that could be one of, if not the story for 2017.
Yeah, could be.
If he's able to get that,
Yeah,
the early edition of that rolling and
Right.
open to the public, I think it's going to be just
phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
Like I say,
great.
it could be a destination for a lot of events.
Oh,
the big
absolutely. It's
space
huge
that
in there.
and where you're scrambling now to have some events, and some we just don't have a venue big enough. This one might be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, then I wanted to mention Don Nicholson from Don Nicholson Enterprises, who's going to be bringing his Marketplace newspaper to Garden City in 2017.
Yeah.
Made that announcement at the Garden City Business Alliance. So that is really a nice paper. It's in all color. Businesses can advertise in it. It's going to be a good thing. Reaches a lot of people.
Looking forward to it. It was nice to see that
Yeah.
on the front page of the Garden City Observer, they
Yeah.
actually had a Garden City article about a Garden City business.
Yes.
This time.
Yes.
Like, shout out to
Yep.
to Rick Palmer and
Yeah. Hey, Dan Bartley has just joined us. Cheers on a wonderful new year. 17 has to be better. Absolutely. I agree, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Also, I wanted to just touch on some grand openings of businesses that we had in Garden City. The Garage Fitness and Training Facility. Tim Fredenberg had his grand opening. Salon 360 at Ford Road in Merriman. Also, First Choice Urgent Care. They opened, had a grand opening. Ola's Mexican Restaurant was another new business. B-Rock, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. B-Rock Wraps, they opened. Unfortunately, we had some closings as well, including the Great Lakes Burger Bar that never really made it off the ground. And, of course, Albert's on the Alley, which is still closed and available. So we're hoping to get those filled.
it'd be nice to get those facilities filled with thriving businesses.
Yeah. We're
As
going
I
to have to.
understand it, the owner of the property at the Burger Bar is, if we're going to have a successful business in there, may have to adjust his thinking and get realistic about rent and so forth. And so somebody's really got a chance to be successful.
Exactly. Also, we have to mention the Straight Farmhouse celebrated 150 years. They were built in 1866. I wanted to get that in there. So, any other big stories that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, it reminded me that you talked about passing of celebrities and so forth. This is the year we lost Muhammad Ali and Gordie Howe, two of the greatest people in the sports world.
And not to mention
generation.
A real true American hero, John Glenn, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. so many. I mean, it's just the list is just unbelievable. Tom, anybody else or anything else you wanted to mention before we move on?
Well, like you said, John Glenn passed away.
Yeah.
Tying into one of the last kind of space stories, the biggest one that I've seen this year was when astronaut Scott Kelly came back. He was on the space station for much of this year.
Yes, that's right.
Safely. So that was one of the biggest.
How many days was he on there? Was it over a year?
It was a year, wasn't it?
It was just about a year, yes.
Just about, okay.
Even over a year.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Okay, well, let's move on. We want to remind all residents that the next regular city council meeting is going to be held Monday, January 9th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers located at 6000 Middlebelt Road. They urge all residents to attend. That will be the first meeting of the new year. And we're going to get Mike in here now. He's going to sing for us. I know you guys on Facebook. I hope Darlene said it froze. Hopefully it's working now. So let's get Mike in here and check this out.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye, yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
All right. Everybody looks forward to that, Mike, I'm telling you. Good job.
For somebody whose nose is constantly running and he's sneezing every 5 minutes.
Stuff some Kleenex up there.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, what do you got? Something not too much?
No, not too much. Mostly stuff that we've talked about before, but are still going on. And and I know people would still be interested in them. They're still looking for volunteer drivers for the Meals on Wheels program.
Right.
And help at the thrift store. The store is open Monday through Friday, 8:45 to 9, and Saturday, 8:45 to 5. Please apply at the Maplewood Center, 31735 Maplewood Street, or call 734-793-1850 for more information. The usual plethora of library programs that are still going on. The Lego Club will take place on that same January night. January night's going to be a busy day. We've got our meeting with our elected representatives. We got the first city council meeting and the Lego Club from 3:30 to 5:15. You can be involved from 10:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night with activities.
Right.
Enjoy Legos at the library. Drop in and participate in building challenges and activities all about Legos. The Afternoon Explorers on January 16th and February 20th. They're going to be dealing with STEM topics through books, crafts, games, and registration is required. The Winter Wonderland Story Time on January 19th and February 16th from 6:30 to 7:30. Winter Stories, Crafts, and Hot Chocolate. Come to the library for our winter evening story times. Feel free to wear your pajamas. I don't know how appropriate pajamas will be on January 19th. Hopefully you wear something
Woolies.
Yeah, something else along with that.
Right.
And bring a stuffed animal. Registration required. Teen programs at Anime Club on the 26th of January and February 23rd from 6 to 7. Registration is required. Enjoy pizza, crafts, and, of course, anime. The Super Smash Brothers Tournament on January 4th from 2:30 to 3:30. Registration is required, ages 11 and up. Stress Buster Adult Coloring Night on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock for ages 14 and over. Paint on Rocks, Creative Fun Paperweight on January 23rd with the age-old art of rock painting, ages 14 and over. Call to register at 734-793-1830. One-on-one computer help. Boy, I could use that. My email is now totally out.
Oh, you're kidding.
Totally out. I was receiving and not
boy.
able to send. And I tried to get some help today, and I have nothing at this point. I'm going to have to
check that out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. You know I'm not the most technically savvy person in the first place, so I'm not going to solve it, but I have to find somebody that will either Then maybe set me up with a totally new
Yeah,
email
you need to
system.
get on Gmail or something.
Yeah,
I
think
out
so.
there on the web.
Now, how I notify everybody that I've moved to Gmail and this is how you get a hold of me, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
figure it
no
out.
problem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You say that about all kinds of technical things. That's no problem. That's what the guy said who was trying to help me.
If I get time, I'll help you out. I'll hook you
with
up.
my email today, and the only thing we accomplished was we eliminated my calendar and eliminated me being able to receive email.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. So anyway, adult help from librarian Lisa will be available on Tuesdays to provide computer help in dedicated 25-minute sessions. Call to check availability and book your slot. Speakers at the library on the 18th of January, the ex-Hobo Tells All, Dan Graycheck. The title is The Last Hobo, a Clueless Detroit Kid Hitchhiking Across America. The summer of the 70s ran out of gas. That title alone makes you think there's going to be several interesting things that are going to be included in his talk. The Garden City Art Center is coming, as we've already mentioned. Don Wakefield is on February 13th at 6 o'clock is going to give us an update. He's attempting to turn an empty building on Ford Road into an all-encompassing community art center, and he'll update the public on his progress as well as providing a collaborative art project for attendees to participate in. Nerd Night, local nerd Gabe K. on January 30th and February 27th. We'll talk about the failed worlds of the Nintendo Virtual Boy and the Sega Dreamcast. Mountain Dew and Doritos will be provided. Boy, that's an incentive.
Yeah, that ought to have bouncing off the
Yeah,
walls.
gosh, it is. And Friends of the Library is always looking for a membership, and for only $5 you can become a friend of the library. All proceeds from the Friends of the Library sales benefit the library and support programs. Visit friends online.
Yeah, they do a lot of good over there. So
Yep.
So help them out if you can.
Another big organization in Garden City is the Garden City Figure Skating Club. And they're going to be sponsoring a trip to the Greektown Casino Jack as a fundraiser. It'll be on Sunday, January 8th. You pay $30, receive $20 in slot play. It's being coordinated through Party Animal Travel, so you can call them at 734-525-9777 and tell them you want to sign up for the skating club trip to Greektown.
Yep.
You have to be 21 to participate. If you're going to go to the casino there, cost is $30. You can pay by cash, check, or credit card. Bus will load at the Kmart parking lot at 3 o'clock p.m., and they'll be having raffles on the way down. You can win a trip from Party Animal Travel is one of the raffle prizes. So that actually the bus will return to Kmart at 3 p.m. It's going to load at 9. No, I'm sorry. Load at 3, return at 9 p.m. And come right back to Garden City parking lot. The Guns and Hoses is being replaced by a combination. The fire department and the police department don't have to compete against each other. They're going to join forces and compete against the Warriors hockey from the Michigan Warriors versus the police and fire department. This will be on January 14th. Game time is 1 p.m., of course, at the Garden City Civic Arena. Proceeds will benefit the PTSD awareness and the Veterans for First Responses and Veterans family fun event with raffle prizes, silence auction, donations accepted at the door.
that'll be a good time. Nice to see the police and fire are going to be playing together instead of against each other. Good cause.
The city manager won't be able to
Right.
load it.
Yeah, exactly. You all right?
Yeah, no, but yeah.
Okay.
Let me carry on.
Yeah.
The Valentine's
Plug
Day
through it.
party at Maplewood at the Maplewood Senior Center will take place on February 17th from 12 to 3. 50-50 raffle. Plenty of good catered food and lunch. It's only $12 with entertainment, and they're asking you to bring a non-perishable item for the food pantry as a donation.
Awesome.
And I got the schedule, but you just announced the first date of
Right.
the council meetings. The second one will be on the 23rd, and they're pretty much every other week.
Yeah, pretty much.
From all year long, with a few extra ones to be announced as they get towards the budget time. And
Right. All right, I did want to. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Fun times. Yeah, fun times. I did want to mention, Mrs. Chat reminded me, I forgot one of our biggest events was the GCBA Christmas party we had at Gordon Chevrolet.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I mean, I want to thank Gordon Chevrolet for hosting it. They did a wonderful job. They're just a real asset to the community. So
and most of the entertainment was good. There was a couple of weak
Hey,
ones.
you did good. You did good. Yeah, there was some good singers there. A lot of talented people in Garden City. Yeah. Also, I wanted to mention that the Garden City Police Department hired 3 officers and swore them in today.
Fantastic.
We want to welcome Officer Craig Lewis, Officer Gage Cruz, and Officer Louise Perez. They are all sworn in. Congratulations and welcome to Garden City. We appreciate your service.
We got a policewoman among the cadets or whatever that's joining us. That's good.
Yeah, good.
And police and fire are going to be continuing over the next few years.
Sure.
Adding people because they've got a number of people that are approaching retirement.
Right.
And so they've got to get good quality trained people in there to
a lot
step
of
in
people
for
retiring.
them. Yeah.
Darlene wanted to mention that the Garden City PTA Founders Day is going to be February 15th. That's always a nice event.
And her Autos for Autism was a big program as usual.
Yep. Always good. Yeah, that was good too. Autos for Autism.
Huge.
Forgot
turnout.
about that.
Huge
Very
turnout.
huge. Over at the junior high, it was very nice. I actually liked it over there. All right,
I'll
we're
be
running.
politically correct. The middle school.
Yes, I'm sorry, the middle school. All right, we're running long on time here. I just want to mention if you're a business owner, resident, or community advocate interested in serving the business community, if so, why not consider joining the Garden City Business Alliance? Becoming a member is very easy. Just visit their website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org, and right on the homepage, you'll find the membership form. Fill it out, return it to the address at the bottom of the form with your payment, and that's all there is to it. For more information, you can call 734-788-9319. Or visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Garden City Business Alliance. Why not consider joining the GCBA and be a part of moving the business community forward? You are also welcome to attend their next membership meeting. Find out more about them on January 13th, 9 a.m. at the Straight Farmhouse located at 6221 Merriman Road right here in Garden City. We look forward to meeting you. Okay, before we sign off tonight, please jot these numbers down if you'd like to volunteer for any DDA events. Give Kim or Teresa a call at 734-261-2830. DDA office is located at 29213 Ford Road. And once again, if you want to become a member or volunteer at the GCBA events, call them at 734-788-9319. All right, both the GCBA and DDA are working hard on upcoming events right now for 2017, and they're always looking for volunteers. So contact them today. And with that, Mike, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
Yes.
Thanks to my co-hosts, Tom and Mike. Great job as always. A special thanks to Senator Kanisic for coming on and sharing some great information with us as always. And thanks to you, our listeners on TalkShoe and on Facebook tonight.
Wow.
This worked out great. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Thanks for joining us. We will also be putting the video up on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/community chat show. So look for that. The audio from tonight's show will be made available about 30 minutes or so after we sign off tonight. So you're going to want to check that out. And if you like our YouTube channel, subscribe. That way you'll be notified when we post future shows. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to drtomsweather.com. He's got a great website over there, a lot of useful information. So on behalf of Tom and Mike, this is Carrie saying take care. See you all next year, January 5th, right here on TalkShoe.com. Call ID 82757. Have a very happy, healthy, and by all means, safe New Year. Stay warm and good night. See you guys.
Hang loose.
All right. All right. Thank you, everybody on Facebook. This worked out pretty good. So you guys take care and have a great new year. Thanks for joining.